we just bought what we hope is going to turn into our dream homestead in Arizona, in the desert. It is time that I give you a tour. Now, were we smart for moving in the dead of summer? No, we were not. Today, when I was driving this afternoon, my car registered 112 degrees. So we're living our best hot, sweaty lives out here. But we knew what we signed up for. It is just a drastic change from Anchorage, Alaska to Phoenix, Arizona. We are in the far east valley of the Phoenix area, and the property we purchased is 1 1/4 acres, and it's like completely bare. We have run into a big problem, which I think I've found a solution for. I will show you that when we get around to setting that up. But for now, let me show you what we're working with. As I'm starting my tour, a little bunny, oh my goodness, just ran across. I can't believe they can fit through those little gates. They are so tiny, yet so fast. This here is the front of our property. It has this huge grass area. The way our grass is watered here is very different than anything we've done in the past. I will show you in the backyard how everything is watered. We don't have a sprinkler system out here. The owners before us had horses, and so they set up this property for their horses. They can graze in the front and all the way to the back. And so it's really nice that our grassed area is completely fenced in. So if we do get animals, which is the goal, I just gotta convince Mr. Freeze Dry that that's what we need. We are set up for that. We do have some hoses set up. When my dad was taking care of our lawn for us before we moved here, he was amazing and got sprinklers set up over here because we needed more water than the normal watering that we have to keep this grass. We have, you can see some bare spots that my husband is working on because they are very low and the water just sits there, and so the grass doesn't grow. That is also the cause of our big problem, but we'll get to that in a minute. To the left of my house here, like I have a garage back there, and this big empty area. This is where I want to set up a garden. As you know, I love gardening. Up in Alaska, I was not able to have the garden of my dreams. The gardening season is so short there, and I just didn't have the space where I lived to garden. And so I am so excited to get this started. There is just a lot of work that needs to be done, but I liked this area because it does get a lot of shade. Here in Arizona, your garden needs shade. It is just so hot, so it needs shade. So part of the day it's shaded, part of the day it's sunny. I'm thinking this will be an ideal area for raised garden beds. I am trying to figure out which type I want to do, if we want to build them, if I want to buy them. I don't know. If you have any raised garden bed systems that you love, let me know. You can see my vertical green stock garden over here, and I have another one that I got for Mother's Day. I'm actually going to plant one out pretty soon, even though it's like super hot. I am just going to try to plant shade and heat tolerant plants in one. I just need to see some life here that's not just grass, even though I love grass. But our property doesn't have one single tree. I'm going to change that. But for now, there are no trees, no bushes, no nothing, just grass and dirt. Every homestead needs a porch goose, so this is my porch goose, and I am going to start sewing outfits for it for holidays to dress up. I just am obsessed and think it's so cute. So coming around the corner, this is where the animals can pass through. We also, another problem we have is a pigeon problem. There are pigeons that like to roost up on our roof, poop all over everything. They're loud and annoying, so that's what those are. I guess this is our propane tank. And our house did come, the previous owners left their Starlink here, so that's what this is. This is just where they had it set up, so I guess we're just gonna leave it here. But we have it now in our name and it's working great. Okay, and here is the amazing backyard. The back is probably my favorite area. It just is so beautiful. My kids have been playing football, wiffle ball, all kinds of sports here in the grass out here. There's just endless opportunity for fun, and it's just so pretty. So out here is the garage that has my freeze drying room in it, and then another little guest room in the back. So that's where my new studio is, which I am loving so far. But out here, oh, there's another bunny. You will see that we have more of these low spots in the grass. There's more over here. So our grass and all of the properties in this area are watered by flood irrigation, which is totally new to me, but my husband grew up with flood irrigation at their house, so he at least knows what he's doing with this. But what that means is every 2 weeks, it's like every other weekend, we get a time slot and we request how many hours of water that we want. They tell us when it's our turn for the water. Sometimes it's in the middle of the night, and so you literally have to wake up at midnight and come open the floodgate so that the water can come out, and then we usually do it for an hour. So after the hour, you have to go turn it off. I'll show you what that looks like. Back here is the gate for the irrigation. I haven't had to do it myself yet, but it's right there. You open it up, the water comes, floods the whole area. It floods this whole backyard, it runs to the front, and then floods up the front. So to get to our problem that we are having, that is mosquitoes. Because the irrigation, it sits on your lawn for it should only last for about a day and then start to sink into the ground. But because, I feel like I'm getting bit right now, but because of our low spots in our yard, it sits for days and days at a time, which is, we know, breeding grounds for mosquitoes, and they have been so bad. Mr. Freeze Dry is having a bunch of dirt delivered, and he is going to try to even out the low spots in our yard to prevent that water from pooling up. But in the meantime, I'm going to try to set some mosquito traps. When I'm done with the tour, I will show you the setup that I'm going to do. I did some research. I know that most things and bug treatments don't work on mosquitoes. However, this way people said actually works at reducing the population. It doesn't kill the live mosquitoes, but it kills the larvae. I didn't mention our neighbors behind us, these sweet, sweet, cute horses. I don't have horses of my own, so it's been fun to have horses just right in our backyard. We come up to them, say hi to them, we can give them treats. They're awesome. I love them. So these are our sweet neighbors. I think he has 4 horses, maybe 5, or no, he definitely has 5. We're officially country living now, and I'm obsessed with it. Here is the horse area of our home. We have a round pen, which is wonderful if you are a horse person. And then we have these really nice 4 horse stalls. I don't think we're gonna get horses. We've talked about the possibility of boarding horses, but haven't fully decided on that yet. One animal I do know I want and am requiring to get before any other animal are chickens, and we have an idea for our chicken coop. You'll have to tell me what you think of this idea and if you think it'll work. So we want to take this horse stall and turn it into a chicken run, and then back in here build the actual coop where they sleep and roost and all of that. And then this area can just be the chicken run, and then I can also just let them out when we want them out, and they can free range, they can eat the grass, they can eat the bugs. And what's nice is that this area is completely fenced in, so they won't easily escape. Yes, I know chickens can fly, but they would have to do a lot of work to get out of here. And with all of this grass, I don't know why they would ever want to leave. So we think that would be fine. Since we don't have horses, we don't know if we're going to keep the round pen. However, I thought that if we ever got goats one day, this could be a goat enclosure. We would need to do something to add shade. I mean, they would still have access to shade over here. We could have a little goat hut back in the horse stall, but if they're spending most of their time out here, they would need shade. Or I've thought of just letting them be out here in the grass too, but I don't know. Just because our kids play out here also. For now, I don't think I want it overrun with animals, but I don't know. We're just in the brainstorming ideas phase right now, which is overwhelming, but it's also really fun and really exciting. The only downside is that it's so hot right now that it's a pain to even think about building something. So when I'm talking about building a chicken coop, that might be in the next month or 2, probably not right now, even though I would like it to be right now. We will see. Back here is just, like I said, that little garage studio room. And we've got a little soccer net that kind of fell down during the windstorm. And then a bunch of driveway area. I really want fruit trees, and that is something that can do well in flood irrigation. So for trees, we are thinking of setting them up along this side of our yard over here. We just think that would be like out of the way, but still like accessible. It would be pretty, gets enough light, and then it's still easy enough for mowing without having like tons of trees everywhere. They're just all on that side kind of in a line. I definitely want orange trees, at least 2. I want a lemon tree. We want to do a mulberry tree. I want a fig tree. What else? What else should I plant, people? I'm thinking of doing elderberries. But yeah, I'm really excited for those. I need to do some research on when we can actually buy these trees and plant them. I am sure it's too hot to do it right now, but hopefully sometime soon. Oh my gosh, do you want to hear the craziest thing? You see this here on my porch. This is a ceiling fan. That fan was hanging in my family room. It's giant, and the ceiling in the family room is like 20 feet high. Sorry, the neighbor's dogs are starting to bark. But this fan, everyone has commented, whoa, what if that fell? What if that fell? What if that fell? And I'm like, why would the fan fall? It had to have been installed properly, right? Well, after about 3 weeks of living here, maybe it's been 4, this morning I clicked the fan on. It starts up and then literally falls from the sky onto my couch. Thank heavens no one was sitting there. I mean, the fan is made of metal. The blades are like thin sheets of metal, so that really could do some damage if it landed on you. It could cut you, it would hurt, it would not feel good. I'll post a photo here of exactly where it landed when it fell. Can you believe that? Like, insane. We have no idea how to fix this. We see the part that came loose, like why it fell, but why did it come loose? I don't know. And to get up there to fix it, we would need like scaffolding or a scissor lift. So that's another problem we are trying to solve on top of the mosquitoes and the dirt, I guess. It's just kind of like one thing after another. But that's usually how it goes when you move to a new place. So another thing that we would love to have is a swimming pool. As I have mentioned, it is so hot here, and the best way to beat the heat in the summertime in Arizona is with a pool. Pools are so expensive, like shockingly expensive. But I don't know, I'm just thinking it would be so worth it for our kids. They're at that age where they would really enjoy a pool. And I'm like, if we can do that and provide this like summertime joy for them while they're still young, I don't think we would regret it at all. If we did a pool, we would probably do it on this side of the yard so that we would still have the whole area over here and all the way to the front. Nate was like, why don't we just put the pool in the front yard? Which the space is there, and that's the least used area of grass so far. But that would be so weird to have a pool in your front yard, especially with like our just kind of open fencing. I was like, no, we are not putting a pool in the front yard. It would need to go back here. To try and solve my mosquito problem, are we ready to play mad scientist? I am using these mosquito dunks. Have you heard of these? I am going to make 3 traps. I have 3 buckets, and you're supposed to fill them with organic material, yard waste, water, and then like a half of one of these donuts. And it's supposed to attract the mosquitoes to the bucket to lay their eggs there. And then these little things kill the eggs, which then will reduce the population of mosquitoes. So I need to get some organic matter. And we have some random trees popping through the fence that is on my side of the property line. So that's where we're gonna get it from. I guess the camera fell while I was trimming those, but here are all of my trimmings. While I was cutting those, I was like, okay, it really stinks. And I was wondering why this random tree was so stinky, but no. The horse back there was just doing his business, and it did not smell that good. Okay, I don't know if I need more in here. They say leaves are good, but I don't see anything that's just like leaves. Okay, is this from a mole or a ground squirrel, a hedgehog? What are those called? Because we have seen some things like that out here. I need to ask Mr. Nate if he saw that pile of dirt already or not. Okay, so I'm gonna just put half in each one, and there's my third one. Now we just need to go fill these with water. Okay, I'm trying to carry this heavy bucket. They say you don't want to put these right next to your house because it obviously is supposed to attract the mosquitoes. So if they're next to your house, you're gonna get a lot of mosquitoes near it. So I'm thinking of just spreading them around my yard. I'm gonna do one out here in the round pen just because it won't be in the way of the lawnmower or the irrigation when we do that. Will it fit through here? Come on, fit through. Oh, no it won't. Okay, I gotta lift it over. Never mind, it was too tall to lift over, so I'm walking around to the gate. When I talked about the heat, it's very hot during the day in the sun, but in the evenings like this, when it goes down, I mean, it's still like 97 degrees, but it doesn't feel near as hot. So when we come out to play, it's usually in the evening. All right, bucket number 1, you're gonna go there. Bucket number 2, I'm gonna take, I think over here to the side, and I don't know, maybe just try, do we think here is okay? Or is it better like closer to the house? I don't know. I think where the water is where they're gonna come, so hopefully that's fine. But if you got any other ideas, let me know. And bucket number 3, I'm gonna take around to the front of the house. Bucket number 3, I'm just putting here by the fence line. We'll just see how it goes. But now I'm officially sweating. I'm so glad I was able to show you, finally, our property that we bought. I am so excited. We really are so grateful to be here. We're so grateful for our new home and for this new property and the potential that it has. Like, it's kind of fun that it's a blank slate, but also that means there's a lot of work. I mean, it's great as is and would be great if we just were gonna have horses. We're already completely set up for that, but that's just not what we're gonna do right now. But I do want some animals, starting with chickens. We just need it to cool down a little bit to be able to get all the work done, but we're getting there. Like I said, the evenings aren't so bad, even though my face is red and I'm sweating. That's just our new life. Thank you all so much for watching. I have so much freeze drying and homesteading content here to come. Make sure you're subscribed, hit a like on this video, as that really helps my channel. Remember, I don't know if I should not keep saying when you freeze dry today, you secure your tomorrow, or should I say when you homestead today, you secure your tomorrow? Because I mean, that's kind of what we're gonna start doing here. So we'll see. Bye friends.